I'm Eric Loy, and welcome to Eric Loy Interviews. On this podcast, we talk with folks from the VTuber community on their channels, their talents, their stories, where they come from, and their plans for the future. We welcome Magnox. Hi.
Hello.
Hey, thank you so much for coming on. Please, would you introduce yourself to everybody?
Well, howdy. I'm Magnox. I'm a cyborg VTuber, full body. I'm a I'm a bit of a techie, a bit of a nerd when it comes to mechanical stuff. I love engines. I love machines of all kinds, robots. I love AI. I know it's not the thing to say these days, but I really do love AI.
Mm-hmm.
And yeah, I'm just a big handy tech nerdy. Not so much about calculations and stuff, more about building stuff.
Yeah, the actual hands-on type stuff. Yeah.
Yeah.
I kind of wonder with and I know that's you talk about AI not being the most fun thing for people to talk about these days, but I always wonder if people had presented AI not as the symbol or the tell-all replacement, but as a tool, then it might have been a little different.
That
Yeah.
is exactly what I think they should have done because everybody seems to shit on AI without. Okay, everybody that shits on AI seems to think it's the worst thing that ever has and will replace everything. But in reality, AI is a tool. It's like a
Mhm,
hammer. It's like a car to most people. It's like
mhm,
you've never seen a bad hammer. You can have a bad person use a hammer or use a hammer in an inappropriate way.
mhm.
A hammer is great to nail. It's not great to clean a window.
No.
An AI is great to give you the foundation of something that you'd like a reference or something that you
Mhm.
can build upon yourself.
Yeah. Yeah. But again, it's not there to replace, and unfortunately,
Absolutely
in
not.
the wrong hands, like that's what they'll do, and it's what done is done with it is the biggest thing. So
Yeah.
how did you get
It's,
started with content creation?
well, it originally I'm a role player at
Mm,
heart.
hmm.
Uh, when I was a kid, I was just doing my own little stories in my head.
Yeah.
And eventually, you grow up, make some friends, and keep going. So then I've learned to roleplay, tabletop, Dungeons and Dragons, all that stuff.
Right.
And
Right.
I found my group with sci-fi and all of this.
Mm,
But through role-playing, I made characters, and I fell in love with these characters. They're ingrained, they're part of me.
mm,
And eventually, it's fun and all to roleplay, but it's always time. It's hard to make the time to be with friends and do things.
right.
But you
Right.
always have time to make something on your own.
Yeah.
So I figured, why not have one of my characters that I love the most and just live that? And at the same time, I was losing interest in games. As
Hmm.
you get older and things come around, and it's just like, just don't have it in you. And I don't know, it kind of clicked in my head that if I record myself playing games, that I would somehow enjoy it more. And I don't ask me why, but it worked.
Well, yeah. Well, that maybe it's is it. You think maybe it's the interaction with folks, or just maybe the
Oddly
format.
enough, it can't because I don't even go live. I'm a bit of an oddball.
Ah.
I'll admit that what I do is not exactly the most popular thing around the block.
Yeah.
I sincerely think we could go back to a time where things were slower.
Mm,
Like, what I do are long plays. I'm sitting down for 2 hours in a block, I'm recording that,
yeah.
and that's what you get.
Yeah. Yeah.
We don't really have that in 2026.
Mm,
Everything is, if you're watching a video, it's most likely recorded to be sped up as quickly as possible. There's just no pause. It's just go, 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 go.
oh yeah.
And
That does bother me. As
yeah,
old radio
you're
guys,
not
like,
watching
ugh.
this kind of video. It's just live, just so you get that dopamine of interacting with somebody.
Yeah. Yeah.
That's great and all, but where is the simplicity? Where is the good old days? Where is just take your time, sit down, and whatever, you know?
Yeah. Yeah. So you're producing art. You're basically producing pre-recorded things.
Yep.
Yeah, yeah. Well, it is nice to have a safety net. I'll tell you that.
Well, there's a few good things coming out of just recording.
Yeah,
See, if somebody calls me and I'm just playing my stuff and I'm like, oh shit, no, instead of pausing the stream or just changing everything, you just, let it slide and at the end of the recording, cut that bit, move on.
yeah, yeah. Absolutely, absolutely. Yeah, and I don't do a whole lot of live stuff right now because of the interview format, how it works for me, and maybe if I say something that I'm not going to offend somebody on purpose, but you never know what someone's going through at the time, and they're like, well, I don't want that in there. Well, we can cut it out, and nobody gets embarrassed other than me,
Exactly.
and I'm used to it. I get,
That's that's an that's another good reason to do these because sometimes I'm going to play a game and I'm going to be absolutely locked in and it's kind of boring. There's nothing happening, so I'm just gonna cut a bit of that. Or on the opposite, I'm going to be absolutely vivid and swear out my ass and just do some insanities. I'm like, okay, maybe I went too far on that one. Probably gonna cut this bit.
I swear like a golfer.
Oh, oh, oh yeah. No, sometimes. Oof.
Well, that happens on games. I know that for a fact.
Yeah, I mean, okay, you're having a good time. You're on like 20 minutes, 30 minutes, everything is just going swimmingly, and then you get stuck on this one bit for an hour. You're like, this game is playing mind tricks here.
Oh yeah,
What is this?
yeah. You get in a situation where it's usually 90% of the time it's going to do this, but for the next hour and a half, it's going to do the 10% over and over and over again.
Yep.
Yep.
It's just, sometimes just crying in rage. You're like, mother
Yeah.
of God, please.
Or God forbid something happens to the actual computer or program itself, and suddenly you've got
Yeah,
a blue
I'm
screen
I'm
staring
lucky
at you.
that that hasn't happened yet. So
Oh,
far, my stuff has been pretty smooth sailing,
yeah.
but I'm dread the days it'll happen.
Oh, no, 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 you don't. You do not want that to happen at all. And I've these days with how things are recorded straight to computer, and when I started in radio back in the early 1800s, we were using audio tape for everything that we recorded. So even if I mean, editing was a whole different world
Oh
than
yeah,
with audio
yeah,
tape. But even if you messed up on a part of it or something happened to your tape, it got stretched a little bit, you didn't lose the whole interview. You'd have to cut out a certain part or dub it off or something. Now, if I do a 50-minute interview and something goes wrong, you will lose the whole interview.
oh yeah,
It's going to be
absolutely.
gone. I've had that happen a couple times, and I was not happy when it was time to play
Yeah,
stuff back on the air. It
I do a lot of 3D stuff, Blender and Unity and whatnot, and
uh,
sometimes it happened once. I was working on a little project. As I'm saving it, power cuts.
oh
And lucky for me, it wasn't a huge project. It was like a couple hours at best, but
yeah
just gone. There's nothing you can do with it. That's it. It's like, God damn it.
yeah. It's like I had an interview with one of the top pro wrestling stars and all time, Dusty Rhodes. Um, and I had an interview with him, taped, 30-minute interview, and it came to the time to play it back, and it was gone. And I
There you go.
promoted this thing for days and days and days. I'm like, oh, you got to be kidding me! So, and it was to promote his book. So luckily, I was able to actually call him up, and he did a quick 20-minute live interview on the spot. He said, "Let's do it." I'm like, "Okay, thank you, sir." And lucky to do it. But when something like that happens, and you've been promoting it and popping it up, and one little computer glitch messes everything up, it's like, oh no, that that.
That's the joy of technology because it wouldn't happen if, like, let's say you're building a table.
Mhm.
There's nothing in this world that's just going to make the whole table just gone because you dropped a nail on the floor. You know what I mean? It's
Well, you haven't seen me with tools. No, my wife does not
Okay,
allow me to use tools.
okay, that table might not look like a table by the end, but it's still gonna be a thing.
How did you even hook it in that way? I don't know, and it's where the screws went.
We call this modern art.
Yes. And you weren't actually going to put things on the table, were you? We can hang it
Well,
up
I
from the ceiling.
was, but now that you're talking about it, I might just put it in a corner and we're gonna look at it. It's gonna look all pretty.
Yeah, I'm switch-handed, so I really don't know which hand to use for any of these things. If
Oh,
like an
that's
automatic,
interesting.
get an electric screwdriver, and if I put the screw in, holding it, gingerly with the right hand and left hand on the screwdriver, the screw goes flying across the room. And if I do it the other way around, the screw goes the other side of the room. Neither one goes into the wall. um,
Yeah, well, I guess I'm just lucky to have had a childhood that was like hands-on from the get-go.
yeah, yeah. My dad tried. He really did. Uh,
Well,
so
my dad did the exact opposite. I lived across the junkyard, so my dad was just like, "Hey, go over there if you want to have fun. Be safe. I'll see you at dinner." That's what I did.
that would have been fun as a kid, though.
Oh yeah, I have the best memories, but
Yeah.
it's like unique experiences.
Oh, absolutely, absolutely. Um, when you got started with the recording and putting it on, did you have a certain goal for yourself when you started, doing this and you know, recording projects for your channel?
Originally I thought if it works out, it could be a nice little side gig because when I started recording, I had a job that I no longer have,
Hmm.
and I was seeing that I couldn't be doing this job forever.
Hmm.
It was very obvious to me that physically I couldn't be doing this job for too long,
Hmm.
and I was hoping to start this gig and just maybe like soften the transition at some point where I'd be like, okay, well, I can still do this job, but it's starting to be too much, and I get VTubing going, so I have a bit of a soft transition in there.
Hmm.
Unfortunately, the things kind of didn't quite happen that way. My boss just figured, get out of here. Don't need you no more.
Yeah, I know how that feels. Yeah.
Yeah, it's the joy of giving everything that you've got to a place, and they're just like, yeah, you know what? We don't need that anymore, so screw off.
Oh yeah, yeah. I had that happen. A job I was full time at 19, and they let me go at 53 or
Oof.
43, I should
That,
say, and that was still 25 years
yeah.
at a place like,
And
oh man.
I was at mine for 6 years, and I was doing so much more than they were paying me to do.
Hmm.
And I was just, because I'm the kind of person that I don't care what it takes, I want it to work.
Yeah,
It
yeah,
might not work perfectly, but I'm gonna make it work.
yeah, yeah,
And if I need to help over somebody else to make it work, I will do it. Like, I don't care if you're the engineer over there. If you're drawing, I can see it's not gonna work. I'm gonna make it work. And then
yeah.
I'll tell you, hey, that thing didn't work. You know, I had to do some tweaking.
Oh yeah. Oh, people. Sometimes they really hate that.
I
It's
mean, not everybody appreciates that, and
uh,
as I get older, I get it, and I'm like, okay, I gotta be a bit more preventive before I do something.
yeah, yeah.
But
Because even if
but
it
you know,
does work at that
if
point,
you're
but
running a business, it needs to get out the door, and money comes in now.
yeah, yeah. But it's the in some places, in some industries, the egos are so fragile that you step a little bit outside your zone and it all comes crashing down. Um,
Yeah, yeah,
and
no, that's pretty much what happened.
yeah, it definitely does all that. Now, if you folks got to realize that recording and putting stuff on the net isn't probably going to bring you a big paycheck right away. it's not the
No, but
it is not the easiest thing to get monetized.
absolutely not. I mean, I've been doing recordings on and off before VTubing
Hmm.
for, I don't know, 2, 3 years, and I've been VTubing for about a year.
Hmm.
And to this day, I mean, I know what I'm doing is an extremely niche thing. I'm doing things that are not following trends whatsoever. I don't care what's on like the front page of anything. I'm doing what I want to do.
Right.
And I know the chances of success in this, like in this path is extremely limited because after 3 or 4 years, I still don't even have 200 subscribers.
Mm.
So I am never gonna make money out of this.
And yeah, yeah, it's very tough. I mean, I've got so many videos and so many hours of things now up on the net, but I'm not anywhere close. Um,
Yeah.
there's there's one qualification that you need, and it ain't happening. Eh, eh,
See, I firmly believe if you want to make it out there, you need a decent amount of luck, but you need to fake a lot. That's my belief.
mm,
I could be completely wrong, but whenever I watch people's videos and I see these bigger than life personalities, these huge laughs for something that I'm watching and I'm like, okay, yeah, that's all right.
mm,
And these absolute rage moments where I'm like, yeah, you took a bullet to the head. You're gonna respawn in 2 seconds. Chill, man. It's like if you're not a bigger than life personality, and if you don't put extra cream on in your coffee,
mm,
people are not gonna be interested. And unfortunately, I don't wanna. Well, fortunately, unfortunately, I don't wanna fake anything.
well,
I'm just a regular person.
yeah, yeah. It is. It does take that type of a um almost a Pied Piper type to really bring people in. Somebody, a personality that resonates with other folks, or maybe somebody that draws the attention, or you know, a lot of those folks, it's tough for them to keep any momentum going if they're overdoing it because that's a lot of work. Um,
Yeah.
yeah, over a period of time, if you're going on 4 times a week for 3 hours at a time doing a character that is not you, that is super hyper, all that's a lot. I mean, it's like, it's only 12 hours a week. Yeah, well, you try 12 hours a week.
Oh yeah. Yeah. Like I'm not a person that speaks an awful lot,
Mhm.
like on a regular basis. So just sitting down for 2.5 hours and just speaking to my mic as I'm playing a game, I get sore throat by the end. I gotta take my cup drop. Like, oh damn.
Oh yeah, yeah, yeah. You still have to take care of your voice and make sure you're not, straining yourself too much because you probably have to use your voice for other things.
Yeah.
Life does still run around as you're doing this. So say you're going to put together a video. How long does it take for you to edit?
I try to cut out as little as possible. And see, I don't want to have these overly edited things, and I
Mm,
don't want to be because the more you edit, the more you're like just the experience, I guess. You
mm,
know, like I feel like so many people just take the time to make gaming like crazy enjoyable and amazing, but
mhm.
in reality, we all know that gaming is just you sit down, you play a game.
Yeah, yeah,
So I spend more time trying to get the recording good before I edit it. So I tweak the settings on the game. I tweak the settings in in OBS to split channels right, so
right.
that when it comes to editing itself, all I'm doing is really just cutting a few bits and bobs, and that's it.
Yeah.
I edit after recording maybe 30 minutes.
So do you keep notes as you go, so you know where to edit, or do you try to keep that in your mind as you're going?
I tried keeping it in my mind, but I quickly found out I can't do it. So I always have a little notepad on the side,
Yeah,
and
it is tough to do to remember that sort of thing because, especially if you're doing something like we're doing here with a interview and conversation. If you're into it and you're doing it right, you've moved on. that
yeah.
that leaves your mind, and you go to something else. I'll always write down a time or something, so I look down afterwards and why did I write down 20 minutes and 10 seconds? And And I'll go back and listen to it. Oh, that's why I sneezed. I should probably
Yeah,
take that out.
I only take the time to write the time and not what it is. So every single time I'm like, what is that thing,
Yeah,
huh? And then oh, okay.
yeah. So, do you, as you're editing, what software do you use to edit?
I am using DaVinci. What is it called? Hold on. DaVinci Resolve. There we go.
Oh, okay. Yeah, it is. Is it easy to keep the audio and video matched together?
It's pretty easy. Because I'm recording in OBS in some format that I will not butcher the name, but I cannot pronunciate.
Yeah.
Uh, and it splits my audio tracks, but it keeps them linked.
Uh, is it-
So when I drag the whole thing in DaVinci, everything is linked together until I start cutting things apart. So
yeah.
it's pretty easy.
Is it is it tougher because pulling back the curtain a little bit, when I'm editing audio only. I'm not editing video. Right, well, we have a static thumbnail for the most part up there. Sometimes it changes a little bit, but um, because I'm an old radio guy and I'm old and I can do what I want, um, basically. But the editing it along with the uh, video is a different animal, um, because you could make the perfect audio edit, and now the video doesn't make any sense.
Yeah, um, in the first few months of doing this, I did fuck up some audios.
Hmm.
Uh, I was editing, like, I was trying to be very quick, and I was trying to, compared to what I'm doing now, I was over editing.
Mm.
It's like, oh, this silence is like 2 minutes of me just locked in the game.
Hmm.
So I'm really not talking. So I was just cutting that because it's like, who's gonna watch 2 minutes? But then again, who wouldn't want to see somebody locked in to, try to beat some really hard bit? But
Yeah, I
I
mean,
was really cutting all these little sections, like this one here, and then at some point, my audio track just started to have a bit of a delay compared to the visuals,
yeah.
and I had to just I just had to record silence and play silence in some spots because I was like, oh no, I don't know how to fix that.
It's it's still, I mean, it's not like the old days where you actually edited video with a cutting instrument and actual adhesive tape. It's not that bad. And that was pretty bad back
Yeah,
then.
no, lucky,
Yeah,
because I would not do it.
yeah, wasn't a lot of fun. But it does get to the point where you if you're editing something specifically for video or audio, you don't want to lose what was good on the other side of the track. Like you mentioned, it was just it's easy if you see a 2 minute break to edit that down and just chop chop. Now it's a 20-second break or something like that. But what context are you losing video wise?
Yeah.
Is that an important setup where you're just locked in and and then the next move makes sense when you do start talking again? And if you lose that, do you lose the whole? Are you throwing the baby out with the bathwater, basically?
Yeah, I mean, there's a reason to everything,
Yeah.
right? So if it's silent, why?
Hmm.
And that's kind of what I realized as I was editing sometimes, and I was just watching the whole video, and I was like, man, there's just something missing.
Yeah.
It's like, yeah, it's more interactive, and the video is a bit shorter, so instead of being 2 hours, it's like an hour 15 or something. But
Mhm.
it's
Yeah.
like it was just missing authenticity in my opinion. It was just like, okay,
Yeah.
I'm just gonna stop cutting all these silences because it's part of gaming. It's part of the normal thing.
Oh, and people have all seen movies or something that just get edited poorly, and something that and you get this feeling that, oh well, that probably should have been explained, and something is left on what's called the cutting room floor, literally. Um, and then you get director's cuts where they restore everything, and but you can do that with your own material if you're recording the audio and video and edit one without paying attention to the other.
Yeah, Absolutely. And there's also, in rare cases, I just add my own music in the background because sometimes I'm gonna play a game and there's copyrighted music. So I'm just
Right.
like, oh, well, I'm just gonna slap stuff in there.
Yeah. Yeah.
But it's really easy. Just slap that music over the voice. Like, oh shit, I just removed my own audio. Ah,
Yeah.
damn.
Yeah. Instead of mixing the audio, you overdub the audio, which is
Yeah, I done that many times, and it's like, and I never check back on when I'm doing it. I edit from start to finish, and I never just look back.
oh
But if I'm at 1 minute 35 seconds, I'm not gonna look at the 10 seconds before that. I done it. It's edited. It's cool. It's good enough. I don't need to check. And then I watch the video and I'm like, oh shit, I should have checked.
oh yeah, yeah. It's just gonna happen. Going by the seat of your pants sometimes with that. I had gotten to the point with when we switched over to computer and recording directly into the computer audio that when I looked at the waveform, I could tell what the shape of some words looked like.
Oh wow.
And like if I went I could say, well, that's probably an and I go and I just edit it out and then play it back and it's perfectly fine. The more you work with it, the more comfortable you get with that sort of thing.
Yeah. I mean, it makes sense. It's with all things, really.
Yeah,
You suck at going on a bike until you've done it a few times, and then you're fine.
yeah, yeah. As soon as you fall off, you're like, okay, I won't do that anymore. And
Yep.
yeah, and you work to improve it. Do you?
It all. Go on, go on.
No, no, no. Go ahead.
I was gonna say it also helped that before VTubing, I was already making little videos. Like I not really animations because they weren't animated. I was just in VR with body tracking and whatnot, and just making like puppeteering, I guess.
Hmm.
And I was really just trying to make my own little thing, and without doing CGI, I was trying to do as much effects as possible and just really push myself.
Hmm.
And like it could take me about like a week or two to make a video for maybe a couple minutes,
Hmm.
and I fucked up on a lot of those. Like I would not watch many of these videos again.
Yeah, but you were learning at the time, and you're putting stuff together. And let's face it, with that, you didn't exactly have the Walt Disney suite of animation to deal with.
Oh no. No, I absolutely had the 20 people behind me with the director and all that. What do you mean? Like they were right there.
Overseas, stuff coming back to you immediately and all that sort of thing.
Back, yeah.
Yeah,
The whole team ready.
yeah, and as folks who watch that sort of thing, we have to remember where a lot of it comes from. It's not always. Sometimes the funniest and or most poignant material that we see online may not be perfectly edited, may not be razor sharp with the timing, but it's still funny. I mean, you have to accept it for what it is at that point.
Yeah, there's a thing that a lot of people don't really realize because you don't know until you're trying to do it yourself.
Hmm.
But if you have a scene and there's 4 or 5 characters, or even just 2 characters for that matter, but there's only one of you, it is so hard to just have these two interact and be somewhat in sync, and the conversation flows nicely.
Oh yeah.
First, you need to green screen it, but if your character's got any kind of loose ends like hair or I don't know, let's say flames or something that's somewhat transparent, if you put green screen on this one, then you're going to fuck it up.
Yep.
So you have to have the green screen on the other one, but you need to think about that. You need to plan that.
Hmm.
If you put that character that has the green screen on, like in the back instead of the front, whenever one passes in front of the other one, you have to do so much more editing just to cut it kind of right when it does.
Oh yeah.
And then you have the interaction. Just a simple slap from one character to the other one is insanely hard.
Oh, and then
Because you're doing it, you're recording it, and then 10 minutes later you're doing the other side. It's like,
yeah,
where was I in this room?
and not only that, then you have to sync the audio to it
Yeah.
once you're done.
And
Oh,
like there is this thing, it's probably because my microphone is not that good, or but the more the more layers I have, the more audios I have, the more you hear the little grainy stuff, the little things that you don't hear if you only have like one microphone. So if I
yeah.
have three characters speak, and I'm trying to not have the lid, I'm trying to have one audio track, because if I have three, by the third time, by the third one, you hear like grainy stuff and popping stuff. It's just like
Mhm.
it doesn't want to add itself
Right.
to a certain point. It starts to be kind of bad, and
Yeah.
then you just have to cut all these audios to be one track, or and god damn, that's a lot of cutting and
It
replacing
it
and
is.
fixing and watching and
It yeah,
uh,
and trying to hide things that artifacts that show up, that sort of thing. And plus, when you've got, say you've got three different audio inputs from three different mics or something like that, they're not going to sound the same for the most part anyway. You're going to have some that might have a bit of a smear at the top. Might have ones that sound a little bit more like a telephone line, old time telephone line, and it's not going to
yep.
be equalized the same. So, and adjusting the levels is can be a nightmare, um, especially post production, that type of thing. And
and
yeah,
and to add salt to the wound, I am someone that uses voice changers with pretty much all of my characters.
hmm
So sometimes I'd like, back when I was making these videos, I would just make a voice for this one,
hmm
and it works good with that mic. But if I change mic, well, whoopie-doo, I gotta change all these settings again. But oh wait, what was it? I made this video like 3 days ago. I don't remember the settings. Oh
yeah,
shit.
yeah. You make it complicated, although it becomes complicated, although the idea and the concept is simple. Just putting it together is complicated.
Yeah. And
Yeah.
then you watch it, and it's like, wow, this is definitely not this grandiose studio level kind of deal, so nobody really watches it. And then you're like, ah, man, I did all of that for that. All right, time to do for another one.
Well, it's and then you bring up a good point with that too. Is if you're doing it as a project that you want to do, and you kind of have to look at it like that. I've got that project done. That's what I wanted to do, and it's finished. But if you're looking at it like an artist, you're never going to finish it anyway,
Yeah.
because artists, by seemingly by design, artists are never done, and they want to go back and tweak and tweak and tweak. But you can only do that so much with audio, um,
Mm,
because if you over equalize, it's tough to bring anything back, um, from the abyss when you do something like that. By what I mean there is, say I'm talking right now and I talk for 30 seconds, just blabbing, I don't know, about cheese or something, and I take that audio and decide to, um, take out some of the highs and lows to where it kind of sounds like I'm on a telephone, or that sort of
yeah.
thing. Then later on, if I don't save the original, and later on I decide, I don't want that. It's
And
really,
that's it.
yeah, you've already lost the highs and lows. It's going to be very tough to bring that back from what you've done. You can't just erase that, um, unless you're very lucky and you have a undo button that works several days later.
Yeah, I've not yet seen that. Technology's going there, but I don't think it's gonna happen for a little while.
Yeah, so it's again, sometimes you still, closing your eyes and jumping into the water, but, um, you have to, especially if you're talking about, kind of niche things you're doing, that you're doing because you want to do it. if you're doing it for you want to get thousands of people to come in and get it monetized, you better work a little more on it because
Yeah,
it's just
but
not going to fly that
that
well.
that's why it's easier to make the things that you want to do, regardless if it works or not. But it'd be lying to say that I don't want it to succeed regardless. Like
Right.
if I spent days or weeks doing something and you get three thumbs up, it's cool and all, but
Mm.
you would like to see like 200 maybe
Yeah.
and be like, ah, yeah, cool.
Oh
But
yeah.
just
Yeah. And
like,
trending type stuff.
well, it just feels good to to do what you want to do
Hmm.
and see that other people enjoy it more than, oh, I had fun doing it. That's cool. I'm gonna go to the next thing now.
Yeah. Yeah.
Because I can do that in my garage, I'm a mechanic by trade and I'm learning mechanical engineering as we speak.
Yeah.
So if I just want to do things on my own and not care about anything and anyone, I'll do it in my garage.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
I like a little bit of showing it to other people that might enjoy it.
Yeah. Yeah. A little bit of recognition, that type of thing. As I said, you enjoy this
Yeah.
too, right? Yeah. But what type of things are you working on as far as mechanics go? Is it engines? Is it robotics? Is it what?
I'm a big fan of old cars, like the
Mm,
late four. Well,
yeah.
all the way from, I don't know, the 1870s to the 1940s, 50s.
Oh
I
yeah.
just love those. I
Oh,
really, really love those.
you would love an
Um,
event that happens out here. It's called a hill climb. Uh,
oh yeah.
yeah, the Newport Hill Climb in Newport, Indiana. They bring these old cars, motorcycles, anything that had wheels, and there is a very big hill in this town, which, if you have ever lived in the Midwest, you know that there's a hill, it might as well be a mountain. Um, and these old, from jalopies to Model T to, 19 wartime vehicles, and their whole goal is to drive it up the hill, which sometimes doesn't make it all the way up the hill.
Yeah, I spend a ungodly amount of time on YouTube watching these videos of
Yeah,
World War One and World War Two cars just
yeah. It,
going about. I really love that. In
oh,
fact, in my garage, right now I have very few cars. I sold like a lot of them because I buy and sell because I'm like, I really love this one. I'm gonna keep it forever. And
yeah.
then a couple of years later, I'm like, all right, well, I fixed it up. It's pretty cool. All right, move on.
Yeah, yeah, yeah,
But right now I got a 1947 89. I'm not too sure of the year because there's no VINs or nothing. I found it in a I want to say collectors, but that's pretty pushing it.
yeah.
And it was junk. It was absolute junk. There was very little left of it,
Mhm.
and it's been sitting in my garage for I want to say 6 years now.
Oh, have you
New
been?
frames, new floors, new bed, new engine, new everything. I'm
Oh
just
boy.
tweaking on it every now and then, but I also always have other projects. Like, I want to make a go-kart. Oh,
Yeah,
I should probably make this.
yeah,
So,
yeah. And other things pop up. Do you Are you a stickler for original parts?
that really depends on the build.
Mm,
If let's say I got myself a 1970 car, and I got it, and everything is original as is and in good shape.
yeah,
I am going to go out of my way to keep it as original as I can.
yeah. I mean, pretty
But
obviously, you're not going to be able to drive it unless you know, change it to unleaded.
yeah,
Because
but like for my pickup truck right now, there's so many parts of so many brands of so many eras. It's just I don't care as long as it fits and it works.
yeah, yeah. I watch a friend of mine. He and his father did antique tractors, which, yeah, again, a lot of those are collectors, and they will go to extremes to get the original parts for these sort of things. Um, some of them just aren't manufactured anymore, and people will manufacture them at their homes. And
Yeah, you have to sand and pocket them and just pour your own alloys and make your own part.
yeah.
I watch that, but I'm not equipped or have the ability to go that far.
Oh no. If I started something like that, my wife would call the police on me. Like he's gonna blow something up. Get him away from that. But it's just fascinating for me to watch and see people work on this and get it together. Is there's something? I guess there's an old Rush song kind of about this, but um, the way cars are made these days, you have to be a computer engineer to order to fix it.
Yeah,
Um,
absolutely.
and in the old days, you parked it under the shade tree, and your uncle Mike or whoever whoever in the family knew how to tinker with cars would tinker with it until it started, and you get the car back. Um, now
Yep.
it's all
Uh,
sensors and programming. Ugh.
even like my daily driver for the longest time was a 2005 Chevy
Hmm.
pickup truck,
Yeah,
and I really loved it because it was extremely simple. You want to pop a headlight, it's just a pin. You don't even need a tool or anything. You just
yep,
twist the pin, pull,
yep,
done.
yep,
And over here where I live, it's winter 6 months of the year with like 6 feet of snow,
yeah.
so things don't last forever.
Yeah, that's
So
true. But what the things that do last will last forever. Um,
yeah,
yeah, that's because they were
they
made to
will.
last. They're not like you remember the
But
19.
they get really rare.
Yeah, well, like the 1980s cars were basically made out of cardboard. I mean, they were made to die in 4 years, and you go buy another car. That's why that's you hear that planned obsolescence. That's what that was. We'll make cars
Yep.
that only last a certain long time, and then they have to come back and get another one. But the way that pickup trucks are built, you could get a pickup truck that's got 200,000 miles on it, and it ain't even started to lose ability or
Yeah, because
use.
those things, at least at the time, not so much anymore. Nowadays, trucks are more like luxury barge.
Yes,
But
I like that
back
luxury.
then, a truck was just it's functional. You buy it because you need it, and it better work for your life and your sons.
Oh,
Because
yeah, yeah. It gets handed down.
yeah,
Yeah,
well, I grew up. My dad had an old van, and he bought it used.
mm,
And not an old van, sorry, an old truck, and he bought it used. It already had so many miles on it that most of the gauges weren't working anymore. Couldn't keep up with it, and he had it for the longest time. And every couple of years, he would just get it in the garage, strip it apart, fix all the panels that needed fixing, respray the whole thing, just slap it back together, and there you go. We're going for another 5 years, 2 years, 3 years, however long it's needed.
yeah,
You
yeah.
can't really do that anymore.
No, you can't. You can't. I one of the when that started happening, I'd gotten a car and it was a good solid car, but the every once in a while it would just die as I'm driving. It would just die and would not start, would not do anything, and then about 5 minutes later, suddenly it would start again. And it took months of me bringing it to the manufacturers. And I was like, "Look, there's something wrong with this car," and I'd go over back over and over, and they would drive it around for 2 days. There's nothing wrong with this car. Finally, they drove it around where it died. It was one sensor in the entire thing of the car that was going bad. And that one sensor, when it went bad, the car wouldn't do anything. But it had to be a certain setup for it to work. They took them all out of the car and tested them individually until they found the one. Oh my God.
Yeah, I have a similar horror story.
Yeah.
Uh, I bought a 1980s Supra,
Mm-hmm.
and I just really love the model. I think like it's a very cool little racing box,
Mm-hmm.
and I was like, man, I really love it. Fine, cool. And the guy says, "Oh, you just need to change like the gas filter, and you'll be good to go. Because right now it runs a little rough." I'm like, cool, get it. And I spent so much time and effort. I sent it back to Toyota so many times. I changed so many parts myself.
Mm-hmm.
I heard so many stories about, oh, it could be this, it could be that. And it had very similar issues to you. Like it would run fine. Sometimes it would not run at all. Sometimes it would run like only three-quarters of the pedal could take it. Sometimes
Oh,
it, like I had to barely touch it to get going.
hmm,
It had the weirdest issues for months and months and months.
yeah.
At the end, I just sold it to a friend of mine. I said, "Look, I don't know what it is. I can't fix it. I don't know."
It needed an
And
exorcism.
yeah, my buddy was like, "Hey, at this point, I think we should just change the engine, change the transmission, and change the brand."
Yeah.
'Cause-
And then toss it over a cliff. Yeah, that sort of thing. Yeah, it's just so tough to chase that stuff down. I'm glad I mean, I would like to be able to be a shade tree mechanic type thing, but I couldn't do any of that stuff. My first car was the big white tank. It was like a 1974 Chevy, giant Chevy, and the only thing I tried to do was try to get the radio to work. And since I couldn't take the anything out of the car at the time, or move any of the panels, I would be upside down with my feet up in the air, trying to reach around the thing to get this one plug into the system so it would work. Never did get that thing to work. Um,
you had the fun position there.
oh yeah,
Uh,
yeah, Dad would.
this is the one reason I stopped working on cars because oh man, woo.
Yeah, if I was in that position today, they would need to call the ambulance and probably the jaws of life to get me out of that.
What's going on?
Yeah,
He was trying to change a plug.
yes.
Oh.
I was trying to plug in the antenna to the radio. As it did, the radio it was only an AM radio for one thing, and it only worked if I hit a railroad crossing a certain way. It would work for like 3 blocks.
Damn, that's curious.
Yeah, yeah, but but it also started every time it came up in winter, and it had an air conditioning system that would create an ozone level layer over the car. It was it was it was so wild. But yeah, I understand the want for that sort of thing. I mean, do you carry that over into that tech uh, kind of tech and machinery type thing over to your internet? Do you have a computer that's supercharged, or do you keep it in the garage for the most
Yeah.
part?
No, I got a pretty beefy machine over here, but unfortunately, I'm not as tech savvy as I'm handy.
Mm,
So I do a lot of research online on like what it is that I should get, what I want to get, and what I can get, because those are three very different things.
yeah.
And then I just like make my list and I send that to a guy, and I'm like, hey, can you slap this together for me? And then he did. So I don't build the thing, but I select the parts.
Yeah.
So
Well, I mean
uh,
that's you're way ahead of me on that game. I just does it work when you turn it on? Okay, I'm good. Reboot. Okay, that's how I fix it.
uh, I believe it saves me all the stress of did I fuck it up and I just blew something that I don't have the money to buy again?
Yeah.
Or so I'm just like, yeah, I can buy it and some professional that knows what they're doing who will make it work.
Mm. At the first radio station I worked at, we started getting computers finally, and it took a while. But we started getting them, and they decided they weren't going to play audio off of them, so they took the audio cards out. And
That's a strange choice.
yeah, well, the person in
You would
charge,
think a radio station would have audio.
yeah, well, the person in charge of the computer stuff when it first came out thought it was beneath her to work in it, so she didn't give a flying crap about it.
Mm,
And
okay.
and they went bankrupt. So there you go. Um, you don't keep up, you get ground down, and that's what happens. So what do you want to do with your channel now that you've gotten yourself pretty well established and what you're doing with it? Do you have any things you want to expand on?
Well, uh, um, I have in the I don't want to say far future, but first I gotta finish some of the projects that are ongoing right now.
Mm,
Eventually, I would like to have like a fully complete costume of my model.
right.
I want to, I'm probably not gonna go to conventions because I live in the middle of very much nowhere up north Canada, so
Yeah,
I am very far from
yeah,
everything.
yeah. Do you actually live in a province or in territories?
I live in a province.
There you go. Okay. There is a
I
difference.
live in a, I live in a province, but I live in a province where there is okay, in front of me there's the ocean,
Yeah.
and behind me there is literally nothing until you reach the North Pole.
So you're kind of just barely in a province.
Yeah. So I will most likely not go to conventions anywhere, but that
Mm,
doesn't mean I can't have a good time just making a costume out of anything really,
mm,
because I never made the costume for all. I can do woodworking, I can
yeah,
do mechanical stuff, I can weld, I
yeah,
can try to do sheet metal. I'm not the best, but I can conjure something up if it's not too complicated.
yeah.
But messing with foam and making a costume, I've never done. And
Oh,
it's something that I watch a lot online. I'm like,
yeah,
hey, if they can do it, I can do it too.
yeah.
Probably not as good, but I can do it too.
Hey, yeah, all of that
And
stuff that you mentioned, even the stuff working with fabric, I would set on fire. There would be fire
well,
in
we
it. Yeah,
all we all have our own things. Like I can't sit down and do like uh programming and stuff. It's never gonna work.
yeah,
It's
yeah. It
but
just, it. My wife just keeps all that stuff away from me, and it's good for the environment. Just keep it away, and I'll be perfectly fine. But I definitely envy your ability to do that. I wish that I was better equipped with my hands to do that sort of thing. But I think that
uh, it,
and
it's just one of those situations where my grandpa was a kind of a wild man. I never met him. He,
mm,
he died when I was like a baby, so I don't know him personally.
yeah.
But the stories that my dad told him was that my grandpa was a really wild guy. He built a racetrack around here and he was doing all kinds of events with it.
Oh,
And my dad and all of my uncles were very ingrained with all of this. All of them built their own cars. Some of them had race cars that they built from scratch and all that stuff.
I
And like I said before, I was a kid. I was a junkyard kid
yeah.
because out here there's not much, and my house wasn't even in town. I'm like, my house is on the far end of town, so I couldn't even have the luxury of getting on my bike to go see my friends because I was too far from that. So literally, the only thing I had was a junkyard across the street,
Well,
and
I mean that sounds wonderful to anybody who was a kid. I
it
mean,
really was.
yeah,
It like you want to break windows, you have all the windows you can break. You want
that's
to
right.
set something on fire, it will change nothing to no one's day. You want to
Yeah,
try to start a car, by all means, go ahead.
yeah,
I had such a blast, and I just picked things up like little bit by little bit. Like,
yeah.
hey, I want to make this car run. Like any adult would look at it and be like, yeah, no, forget that. It's never gonna happen. But in your 7, 8-year-old mind, like, yeah, it will work.
I just need this and this and this and this.
Like,
Uh,
why do you have a lazy boy in the car? It's like, I couldn't find a seat. Like, okay.
yeah, but you're the only one who has a comfortable chair in the car.
Exactly. There's only one chair and it's mine.
Oh man, it's great to talk to someone who's got that type of skill and the want to put that stuff together and enjoying themselves. And I hope that you can keep that enthusiasm going as you continue to entertain people here on the net. I'm going to have the links up in the description for the video, and I hope Magnox we can talk again sometime.
Oh, absolutely. I mean, we're having a good time.
Thanks for coming on.
Hey, it was a pleasure.
Thank you for listening to Eric Loy Interviews. Join us again next time when we talk to another member of the always interesting VTuber community.